Sexual assault survivors would not be cited for underage drinking when coming forward about their attacks under new legislation that's being proposed at the state capitol. The measure is sponsored by Republican Representative Joan Ballweg from R-Markesan, who joins us this morning to talk a little bit more. Thank you.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
So let's start fundamentally. What is the goal behind this? Why do you feel it's necessary?
Well, this is something that we've actually been working on for the last couple of terms. In my legislative career, I've done a lot of work with financial aid and higher education. It's something that we've heard from students. We've done some research on this, and sexual assault is the most underreported crime that's out there. And removing the barrier that young people might feel in having the possibility of being charged with an underage drinking citation is one of those things that we think is valuable for law enforcement and for those victims that are trying to weigh whether they should report this or not.
So a recent study showed, at least on the UW-Madison campus, 25% of the women on campus reported being assaulted, and yet the reported numbers to police are not even close to that. Is the thought that by proposing this, somehow you're going to even those statistics out and actually see the reporting then?
Well, we certainly hope so. That's the intention. There was an AAU study that was done less than a year ago, 27 campuses around the United States, that shows only 5% of rapes are reported, actually. And in 75% of all the cases, alcohol has been part of that condition. So we're hoping that students and young people across Wisconsin understand that the more serious crime is the one that should be reported and that perpetrator should be followed up on and not have that fear of that underage ticket.
What do you say to the critics who might believe that you're excusing one crime in the process of getting another one reported? Well,
I think the more serious crime and the grossly underreported crime is the one that we're trying to highlight here and make sure that those serious perpetrators are taken care of and followed up on. But in these kind of cases, we also have to think of the victim. There's many things that are going on emotionally, physically to this person. They've lost control in a sexual assault situation. So we want those folks to get medical help, any kind of support, and our campuses, our locals will provide that for them, but they need to come forward.
I have about half a minute left. This doesn't just apply to the survivors themselves, correct? It applies if there are other kids that are around them who happen to see this going on, they can come forward as well.
Right. It's Assembly Bill 808. And it does also give that citation exemption to the bystander who is helping that young person maybe report to law enforcement or to get medical attention. So it takes care of both of them to remove that inhibition to come forward.
Public hearing coming up pretty soon, I imagine?
Actually, it's tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock is the public hearing, and we think we have a good chance of getting this bill moved through the last month or so of session.
All right, Representative Joan Ballweg of R-Markesan, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Very good. Thanks for having me.